There are over 2 million ATM machines scattered across the United States, and together they handle around 10 billion transactions every single year. But here's the part that should make you look at them differently. Most of the ATMs you see, the one in the corner store, the one in the bar, the one tucked beside the laundromat, are not owned by banks. They're owned by regular people. Some of them own one machine, some own 40, and almost none of them want you to understand how the money actually works, because the moment you do, you start seeing free money sitting in the corner of every business you walk into. So let me ask you something. When you pay that $3 fee to pull out your own cash, where does that $3 actually go? Not to the bank, not to Visa, to a person. Possibly a person sitting at home, doing nothing, while their machine quietly prints money in a gas station 40 miles away. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly how that works. The real numbers. The hidden costs nobody mentions. The strange trick at the center of the whole business that makes it unlike almost any other. The way a single machine quietly turns into 10. And the catch, because there is always a catch that decides whether this is a gold mine or a money pit. Let's follow the money. It starts the second a customer walks up and withdraws $60. The screen flashes a fee. Let's call it $3, which sits right in the typical range of $2.50 to $3.50 that independent operators charge. The customer shrugs, taps accept, and their bank account gets charged $63. They take their cash and walk away, mildly annoyed, never thinking about it again. That $3 is called the surcharge. And it is the entire heart of this business. As the machine owner, that surcharge is yours, not a percentage of it, all of it. It settles into your bank account, usually within a day or two, every single time someone hits accept. But here's where it gets interesting, because there's a second, quieter stream most people have never heard of. It's called interchange. Every time someone uses your machine, the customer's own bank pays a small fee into the network. And a slice of that, usually somewhere between 10 and 25 cents per transaction, gets passed back to you, the owner. It's small, but it stacks. And it costs you nothing extra. The same swipe that pays you the surcharge pays you the interchange on top. So one withdrawal earns you about $3.15. That doesn't sound like much, but now watch what happens when you multiply it. Industry data from the ATM Industry Association shows that a typical independently placed machine processes somewhere between 150 and 300 transactions a month, depending almost entirely on location. Let's take the middle. 200 transactions. At $3 a pop, that's $600 a month in surcharge revenue, plus a bit more from interchange, from a single machine sitting in a corner doing absolutely nothing but waiting. A genuinely busy location, a nightclub, a dispensary, a packed convenience store, can blow past 300 transactions and push gross revenue well over $1,000 a month from one box, in one corner that you visit maybe once a week. But that's gross. And gross is where amateurs get fooled. Because this business has costs, and some of them are sneaky. So let's strip them out one by one and find the real number. The number that actually lands in your pocket. First, the machine itself. A new MV-compliant retail ATM runs somewhere from about $2,000 to $7,000 depending on the model, with most solid units landing in the low thousands. A refurbished one can cut that by 20 to 30%. So your upfront hardware cost is real, but it's a one-time hit, not a monthly drain. Buy the machine once, and it earns for years. Then come the recurring costs. And these are the ones that quietly eat your margins. Processing fees. To connect your machine to the banking network, run roughly $20 to $50 a month. Wireless connectivity, so the machine can actually talk to the network, adds another $15 to $25. Then receipt paper, the occasional service call, and parts which, fair warning, are surprisingly expensive when something breaks. An ATM is low maintenance. It is not no maintenance. And the day a part fails in a high-traffic location, you find out fast how much that part costs. But the biggest cost of all is the one most people forget. The location takes a cut. Because that ATM is sitting in someone else's business, eating their floor space and their electricity. The property owner wants a piece. This revenue share is typically 50 cents to $1 per transaction, or a percentage of the surcharge, often in the range of 20 to 35%. And that split is the single biggest variable in the entire business. Negotiate it well, and you keep the lion's share. Negotiate it badly, and you're basically running the machine for free while someone else gets rich off your capital and your effort. The difference between a good split and a bad one, over the life of a machine, can be tens of thousands of dollars. The contract you sign matters more than the machine you buy. So let's do the honest math. 200 transactions, $600 gross. Subtract processing, subtract connectivity, subtract the location's share, subtract the small stuff. What's left? Across the research, the consistent answer is that a steady machine nets somewhere between $250 and $450 a month in actual profit. The high-traffic monsters can clear 800 or more. The dead locations might barely break even, or quietly lose you money while you tell yourself it's about to pick up. Let's anchor it with one real example from the field. A bar, doing 8 transactions a day at a $3 surcharge. The merchant gets 50 cents per transaction. The processor takes 15 cents. That machine grosses about $744 a month, with costs around $212, leaving a net of about $530. The machine cost $2,800. It pays for itself in roughly 5 months. After that, it's pure profit for years. One bar. One machine. Roughly $6,000 a year in near passive income from a box most people don't even glance at on their way to order a drink. 5 months to break even, then free money. So this is a no-brainer, right? Just buy machines and get rich? Not so fast. Because here's the part the get-rich gurus skate right past. And it's the strangest, most misunderstood thing about this entire business. You have to fill the machine with your own cash. Sit with that. When a customer withdraws $60, that $60 doesn't come from a bank. It comes from you. You loaded that money into the machine, out of your own pocket. So every machine you own has thousands of dollars of your money physically sitting inside it at all times. A typical machine holds around $20,000 in 20s when fully loaded. Most operators, depending on how busy the location is, keep somewhere between $2,000 and $10,000 cycling through each machine at any given moment. Busy machines need more. A high-volume location can chew through $12,000 to $16,000 in a single month. This is the thing nobody tells you. Your real startup cost was never just a machine. It's the machine plus a pile of cash you have to be willing to lock up inside it. Every $5,000 sitting in that vault is $5,000 that can't be doing anything else. It's not invested. It's not in your savings earning interest. It's sitting in a metal box in a gas station, waiting to be handed to strangers, $20 at a time. Now, here's the elegant part. The part that makes the whole thing actually work. That cash isn't gone. It's recycling. When the customer withdraws their $60, their bank electronically reimburses your bank account, usually within 24 to 48 hours. So the cash flows out of the machine and flows right back into your account. And then you take it out and load it into the machine again. Round and round. Your money is constantly cycling, and you skim a fee off every single loop. The same dollars earn you fees over and over, week after week, forever. It's one of the most beautiful little money loops in all of small business. But recycling doesn't mean free. And this is where the dream meets reality. You still need enough cash on hand to keep that machine stocked between refills. If your money is tied up, or you simply run out, the machine goes dark. And a dark machine is a disaster. It earns nothing while still costing you rent, connectivity, and worst of all, reputation. People who hit an empty ATM twice stop coming back to it. You don't just lose today's transactions. You lose the regulars. So operators solve the cash problem in different ways, and each solution quietly shaves the profit. Some borrow the cash, paying a few points over the prime rate to a vault cash lender, which works, but eats into your margins every month. Others outsource the entire headache to an armored truck service that delivers and loads the cash for them, at around $65 to $85 per visit, plus often a slice of every transaction. Convenient, professional, safe, but again, it eats the profit. Every problem in this business has a solution, and every solution has a price. And then there's the work nobody romanticizes. Somebody has to physically drive to that machine, open the vault, and stuff it with cash. For 1 or 2 machines, that somebody is you. You, driving around with thousands of dollars in your car on a schedule you're specifically warned to keep unpredictable, never the same day, never the same time, so nobody figures out your pattern and waits for you. It's not dangerous in the cinematic heist movie way, but it's also not the laptop on a beach passive income the ads promise. It's a route. It's logistics. It's reconciliation, counting, tracking, and bookkeeping. It's real work, even if it's only a few hours a week. So that's one machine. Now here's where it gets genuinely interesting, because the real money in this business was never one machine. It's the root. Watch what happens when you scale. One machine nets you maybe $350 a month. Nice, but it won't change your life. But the model is almost endlessly repeatable. 5 machines averaging $350 each is around $1,750 a month, in mostly passive income, the realistic baseline for a serious side business. Push those 5 into high traffic spots earning $400 to $600 each, and you're north of $30,000 a year from 5 boxes. Operators who treat it as a full-time business and run 20 to 50 machines are generating somewhere between $7,000 and $20,000 a month. And here's the engine that makes it grow. Reinvestment. You take the profit from your first few machines, and instead of spending it, You use it to buy machines 6 through 10. Then, those fund the next batch. The route compounds. Operators who started with 3 to 5 machines and reinvested patiently for a few years commonly end up running portfolios of 20 to 40 machines. The first machine is the hardest. Every machine after that gets easier, because the machines themselves are paying for the expansion. But, and this is the rule that decides everything, the entire model lives or dies on one word. Location. A great location pays back the machine in 5 or 6 months and prints money for years. A bad location is a metal box full of your cash that nobody uses, slowly bleeding you on rent and fees. The skill in this business was never the machine. Anyone can buy a machine. The skill is finding the spots where cash is still king and competition is thin, and then locking in a fair split before someone else does. Which raises the obvious question hanging over this entire business. In a world of tap to pay and mobile wallets and everyone splitting dinner on an app, do people even still need cash? And here's the surprising answer. Yes, stubbornly, persistently, yes, cash still makes up a meaningful slice of transactions, and entire categories of business run almost entirely on it. Marijuana dispensaries, which often can't use normal banking due to federal restrictions, are nearly all cash, and they are some of the most profitable ATM locations in the country. Nightlife, where tips and quick drinks rule and nobody wants to run a tab. Laundromats, barbershops, nail salons, food trucks, farmers markets, mom-and-pop restaurants that quietly skip card fees to protect their margins. And here's the trend working in the ATM owners' favor. As banks keep closing physical branches by the thousands, they leave cash deserts behind whole neighborhoods with real demand and no easy way to get money. Independent ATM owners walk right into that gap and fill it. That said, let's be honest, per the rule that we don't oversell. The long-term trend in cash usage is downward. Each year, a slightly smaller share of transactions happens in physical cash. This is not a business with a guaranteed 30-year runway in every location. It's a business that works extremely well right now, in the right cash-heavy niches for operators who pick their spots carefully. The dispensary near a college campus is a very different bet than a machine in a trendy, card-only neighborhood. Anyone who tells you cash is dead is wrong. Anyone who tells you cash will reign forever is also wrong. The truth and the opportunity lives in between. So now you can see the whole machine, literally and financially. And you can see why it's not magic, it's a trade. You're trading 3 things the average person doesn't want to give up. Upfront capital for the hardware, a pile of working cash locked inside the box, and your time, driving the route and keeping it stocked. In exchange, you get a small, boring, remarkably reliable stream of fees that keeps flowing as long as people keep needing cash, multiplied by as many machines as you have the capital and the hustle to place. This is the real lesson hiding inside the ATM business. And it's bigger than ATMs. The best businesses are often the boring, invisible ones. Not the flashy startup, not the trendy app that needs millions of users to mean anything. A metal box that does one dull thing, hand people their own money for a small fee and does it relentlessly, in the background, while cash quietly refuses to die. Nobody brags about owning ATMs at a dinner party. There's no status in it. And that, strangely, is exactly why it works. The lack of glamour keeps the competition thin and the margins fat. The opportunities that look unsexy are often the ones still left on the table, precisely because everyone chasing excitement walked right past them. So the next time you groan at that $3 fee and tap accept, picture where it's actually going. Not into some faceless bank, into someone's account. Someone who understood something most people walk right past every single day, that the most reliable money is often the least exciting money. That a fee you barely notice, multiplied across 10 billion transactions a year, adds up to one of the quietest fortunes hiding in plain sight. In the corner of a gas station, behind a bar, beside the door of a laundromat. The machine was never really about cash. It was about noticing the opportunity everyone else literally walks past on their way to the register.